Welcome to Jikoni Magic's Meza. Today we're going to be making beef Osso Bucco. It's got lots of these tissues that are very hard to break down when cooking, okay, like these ones. And it's also got this silver skin that goes around it. It can be quite tough to cook. It's also quite rich because, as you can see, it's full of bone marrow. So it can be quite the oily dish, so you have to really work on making sure that your meal does not end up being too oily. Our aim here is to be able to cook this Osso Bucco until it is falling off the bone. So to start us off, we will pour a cup of flour onto the plate. And to that we will add a bit of salt, a pinch of mixed dry herbs. To that we are also going to add half a teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper. The rest will be added later while we are cooking. And half a tablespoon of curry powder. And the next step is to just flour the Osso Bucco very lightly, not too much. And if there's any excess flour, just make sure that you shake it off. So we'll start by setting our pressure cooker to the saute function that allows us to cook when it's open. So the saute function, you go to it from start with the menu and then go all the way up to number 5. 10 seconds it locks itself in that setting, and it takes 30 minutes for the saute function to come to an end. So we'll start by adding about 3 tablespoons of oil to the pressure cooker. And you can hear that very nice sizzle. And as you can see, the Osso Bucco has really browned beautifully. So now we are going to remove it from the pressure cooker. To the same oil, we are going to add 1 cup of onions that are finely diced. There's no need to add any more oil in here because, like I said, it's a very rich dish. It's going to be full of the fat from the bone marrow. So we will let the onions cook out for just about 3 minutes for them to turn translucent, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. And to that, 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, roughly pounded. Cook it off for 1.5 minutes to 2 for the ginger and garlic to release their natural aromas. To that, we are going to add the pureed tomatoes. That's a full cup as well. Soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and we are also going to add 2 beef bouillons. We'll put back the beef Osso Bucco. If you have some white wine or red wine, you can add all that in here, or you can add beef stock, vegetable stock, whatever makes you happy. Just go on and add all that in there. And we are also going to add the dania stalks. The dania stalks can be able to withstand the heat, and they are quite flavorful, so please do not throw them away. If you have bay leaves, you can throw 1 or 2 in there. They are going to add very nice flavor. And so now the next thing is just to cover. As usual, ensure that this valve faces the sealing position, so that when the whole contents of the pressure cooker come up to pressure, the steam does not escape from here. Hence, you'll use less energy. Okay, now that we have finished sauteing, we have to cancel that mode for sauteing. So what we'll do is we come to this keep warm button, or the on off button. We will come to our menu function, and since we want to cook it on the manual setting, what we will do is we will come to this manual setting, and we need to set the cooking time. So we press on the cooking timer, and we are going to do the Osso Bucco for 50 minutes. Yeah, so after 10 seconds it's going to lock itself in, and after it pressurizes, it will start counting down from the 50 minutes all the way to 0. So here we are. Our Osso Bucco is very nicely done. I added another 20 minutes on top of the 50 minutes that we had already put up, because, well, after checking on the Osso Bucco, it was not exactly falling off the bone as I would have liked for it to be. I've tasted for seasoning, it's okay, but I feel like it could use a little bit more sweetness. So I've added just a tiny bit of honey to balance out the flavors. And what I'll do is I'll put it on the saute function for it to cook down and become thicker. Right now it's too soupy, too watery. It doesn't suit my preferences. So it's reduced to my liking, as you can see, and it's thickened quite a bit. I'm happy with the seasoning. Everything has balanced out the way I would like for it to. So to this, I'm going to add the cherry tomatoes that have been halved. This is totally optional. You absolutely do not have to do it. I won't even let them cook. I'll just let them soften from the heat of the stew. And to that, I'm also going to add some bit of dania or coriander. Okay. And this is ready to be served. You can serve it with whatever starch makes you happy.